We have to go back to the future, Marty. We have to go back to the future.
Okay. I mean, okay, Doc. I'm lost. I'm wholly lost with that one.
We have to go back to the future, man. Like, we have to...
Back to the future would imply we're in the past.
But where are we in time?
Well, a minute ago, technically, we would have been in the past.
We're always heading towards the future. Or are we going back to the future? That's the question. I mean, really it is. Like, that's the conundrum of all living species.
If you're new here, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
on this planet. Like, that's the conundrum, isn't it? Which direction in time are we traveling? We're always time traveling. It just depends on which direction we're going, right? Are we going to the past or are we going to the future? Have we already been to the future?
I mean, the very definition of future would imply that we're going toward the future.
But are we?
Well, I don't know, man. Hadron Collider and...
Exactly.
You know.
So there's theories that, like, time is not as linear as we perceive it.
Yeah, for sure. Of course not. We can't even get the calendar right. We got to skip a year, skip a day, add
a day, take away a day. Yeah.
Right.
No, I get you.
Right.
But like, the idea behind it is, like, all time is going on at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like parallel.
Not parallel, just like everything is happening all at once.
Oh, yes. Alternate. Right? Like,
yes.
You mean like
if you perceive time as linear, consider it forks in the road, right?
Yeah.
Decisions made, butterfly effect type stuff.
Yeah, that's be
the idea.
Linear, right?
That's in the linear sense, right?
Yeah.
Where I make a decision and it forks off, but the other idea is that you've already made the other decision too.
Yes.
So that one timeline continues and you break. So you break and fork to another timeline. You get what I'm saying? So all of those timelines, every decision that you've made both.
Men in Black 3, right? Where every decision and every possibility and every future is all happening at the same time.
Yes. That's the general idea of it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, linear travel is if you make that decision, fork in the road. Right.
Yes.
And then forward.
But a lot of scientists and a lot of people who dive into this originally didn't think that, like, so if you're on this linear timeline and you made this decision to do X, that the current timeline you're on no longer exists.
Right.
You've now forked off into a new timeline that goes this way.
That's Back to the Future Part 2?
2, possibly. Now, a lot of scientists are now starting to think, because of science experiments that they've done with the Hadron Collider and stuff like that they're starting to think that everything exists all at once, all the time.
Okay.
There's no linear timeline. There's no linear path, that it's all happening all together, all at once. The decision you made to buy that the AR-15.
Yes.
You also made the same decision to not buy it or to buy an AK-47.
Right.
Okay. So all three of those decisions are all functioning at the same time.
Right.
You just don't know it because you are conscious of the current decision you've made.
Right.
But there are other yous that have made other decisions that are doing other things. Like, there could be an entirely villainous you.
Yeah.
Like, where we don't know each other. We've never talked. We've never seen each other. You're just this super villain that fucking exists in this timeline.
Solely
you're the next Hitler.
To kill
all the Jews.
I wasn't going to go. See? What'd you
do?
What? We had to go.
Why'd you do that?
Now the stream's going to be fucked up later. It's going to be all...
They're not listening now, are they? Wait. What timeline are we in?
Yeah, I don't know.
The stream's already happened.
The one where 4 FBI agents watch us through our fucking
here's the perfect example.
iPads and shit.
Right now, we've already done the stream. And we've already drank majority of that bottle
that would
of E.H. Taylor.
That would imply that the future and past and present also would all be happening at the same time.
Yes, correct.
But it can't.
Why can't it?
When you're talking about non-linear time, it's
a ball of fuck shit. I mean, literally, think about it. Like if that were an actuality,
but
right?
It's still moving forward. It's still moving forward.
But it's a ball of fuck shit moving forward. You got to think about it like this.
But that would mean like
the past, present, future, and put it all in one giant fucked up whatever the fuck that is, right?
Yeah.
And it's all moving forward. Is it though? That then continues the theory that it's linear.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't.
But that's what I'm saying. That would imply that you're 40 years old and 60 at the same time. I mean, you're kind of in between.
I mean, prove it wrong. And don't you ever talk about my age like that again. How dare you, sir?
Sure. So,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mostly Peaceful. I'm Rob.
I'm Jimmy. And I wholly apologize for
this is the fun part that I love doing.
Yeah.
This is the fun part that I love doing because
it's very true.
It's thought provoking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where you're like,
I was about to start talking about Schrodinger's cat paradox and shit. So
where the cat doesn't exist in the box until you open the box,
right?
Or does it exist in the box?
Well, it's
at all times.
So there's one where there's a vial that.
Since we've drank the E.H. Taylor already, I'm going to go ahead and open up this bottle of Traveler's Whiskey.
Since we drank the E.H. Taylor already in the past?
Think about the timeline. Yes. Yeah. Think about the timeline, sir.
Which will happen Saturday afternoon.
At 5 p.m. ish. We've already done this.
It's true.
Now we're a week later. You know, this is Friday of 2 weeks later.
I wonder what like used DeLoreans go for.
You hear that noise? That's fucking horrible. Sorry.
You think they have DeLoreans on the marketplace? We need one.
We could buy one.
We need one.
They're expensive now, dude.
I know.
Holy shit.
It's like the fucking car that everyone wanted in the beginning and then everyone hated for 40 years. And now
everybody wants one.
Like Nike mags, they're $1 million fucking dollars.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah, legit.
But why?
Oh, dude, I've seen some of them going like, and they have the full out like Back to the Future fucking garb all over it,
going,
right?
Yeah.
Like, well, they were always going.
Yeah,
they were built that way. AMC built the DeLorean that way, but like they have the flux capacitor inside and the digital dashboards with the times and all that. Like they have them fully decked out Back to the Future style, right? They're going for fucking $80,000-$90,000 a pop, bro.
My,
and I don't even think they run.
Holy shit!
I think they're just like prop pieces. Yes.
Oh fuck that.
Yeah, yeah. So what is that? How is that?
It's fucking great.
Is it?
Yes.
I've been excited about this. Like,
it's got a really loose pull, which I honestly like.
Yeah.
It's not too loose, but it pulls nice.
Good,
yeah.
Good.
And it's not dry.
I've had a couple heaters lately and I'm not happy with them.
Yeah, I know. It's actually really good. It's not real dry.
Bar the punch.
No, so yeah, look, Schrodinger's cat, right? Yeah, you pretty much nailed it. But one of the paradox theories is that there's a vial, and at a given time, the vial is going to break and release a poisonous gas, and the cat's going to die. The paradox is whether the cat is both simultaneously and only actually inherits a timeline of life or death after someone observes the open box, right? So
but once the box opens, it's poisoned?
No, it's basically
I don't understand the poison part. I remember
the cat, there's a cat in a box and there's a vial of poison that in 10 minutes this contraption is going to bust.
I don't ever remember this being the part of it. Like, look, okay, but go ahead.
Because we know the cat's in the box.
Yeah, we do. Do we?
If you put a cat in a box, it's a cat in a box.
But that was the conundrum of Schrodinger's cat.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't put cats in boxes.
Don't put cats in boxes.
If you put a cat in a box, the cat's in the box. Listen.
But that was the inherent question.
Stop interrupting me, bro.
Of Schrodinger's cat was.
No, it's not. You're wrong.
Is the box, is with the cat in the box, because you can't observe it, is the cat still in the box? That was the inherent question.
No. It was, is the cat alive or dead in the box until you observe it? Telling you. Watch.
Okay. All right. You're gonna have to prove me wrong on this. Okay. So we're trying Traveler's whiskey. It's a blended whiskey. It's 45%, so it's 90 proof. This is Chris Stapleton's whiskey, the country singer. So we're gonna.
Okay, here you go. Quantum mechanics, right? Schrodinger's cat is a thought experiment, sometimes described as a paradox. Mm-hmm. In Schrodinger's original formula, that's all, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Schrodinger's original formulation, a cat, a flask of poison, and a radioactive source are placed in a sealed box. Mm-hmm. If an internal radiation monitor detects radioactivity, the flask is shattered, releasing the poison, which kills the cat. The Copenhagen interpretation implies that after a while, the cat is simultaneously alive and dead. Yet, when one looks in the box, one sees the cat either alive or dead, not both alive and dead. This poses the question of when exactly quantum superposition ends and reality resolves into one possibility or the other. Basically, it's the observing of the cat either alive or dead superimposes that reality.
Okay.
And that timeline exists. But before you look in the box, the cat is both simultaneously alive and dead. And it has both realities, both superposed.
Just a dumb old redneck, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Fuck you don't. Come on, man.
No, I understand.
I mean, it's quantum mechanics.
I don't remember the whole shit. Radiation poison thing. Like,
yeah,
it was the question in quantum mechanics was whether if you can't observe it, is it there? But when you observe it, it's obviously there.
Well, it's basically
like adding in the radiation both. And the fucking poison break. Like, doesn't really.
No, it's not that it's not there or is there. It's both at the same time until if it's basically whatever possibility it's all possibilities.
Sounds like some CRT shit to me.
It's all possibilities until you observe it, and that superimposes reality.
No,
I mean, what are you doing if you're not sitting around smoking weed and talking about quantum mechanics, bro? This is like elementary shit for us.
No, I was actually talking about the run on my cigar.
I know.
Okay. No, I understand. I vaguely understand. I shouldn't say I understand. I'm no fucking rocket scientist or quantum surgeon. You know, I don't fucking know. I don't quantum but I understand it to a certain degree. Mm-hmm. I'm not a complete and total fucking idiot.
No, you totally get it because you just were talking about somewhat of the same thing. The not the possibility, but the interpretation that the fact all that possibilities
without observation you can't tell.
Right. Yeah. Like it's the fact that everything is happening. Whatever the possibility is, it's all possibilities until it's observed, and then
correct.
That's reality.
Correct.
And it could go either way.
Yes.
It's a weird, dude. I go down rabbit holes with quantum mechanics and physics, and I will start just going deep into oh, dude, paradoxes. I love paradoxes.
I love the idea.
How do you think I know about the fucking flask of poison with the cat and shit?
I love the idea of paradoxes in the sense that, like,
well, it really does.
If your future self ever met your past self, like the idea of the entire universe imploding. I cannot believe. Well, like, not that, in any scenario, I cannot believe that you meeting your past self or your past self meeting your future self or your present self would ever you as a singular being in the universe would cause the entire universe to implode. No. I just can't grasp that.
Here's the
by the way.
Yeah.
Cheers,
bro. Thank
Chris
you.
Stapleton.
All right. Let's try it.
Oh, fuck. think I'm going to pee on things tonight. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't either.
Terrible.
No, it's not. I'm going to have to drink on a little bit.
Yeah, it's not terrible. It's not.
Yeah.
Right. Like openly, like first sip.
Yeah. It's a little hot. It's not as smooth as, it's not very smooth, but it's not smooth either. It's not horrible. I've had whiskey way worse than this.
Of course.
That's supposed to be way better.
Yes.
So I can't even hate on it yet.
Yeah, no,
we'll try to hate on it later, but we'll see how it goes.
We'll get somewhere with it.
So, but I think it's either the grandmother or grandfather paradox. What you were just saying, that if you could go back in time and meet yourself and murder yourself, then would you have ever existed to have been able to go back in time to murder yourself?
I don't think that's the question. I think it's if you go back and kill your grandfather.
Right. Something like that.
Yeah. But it's an odd question.
It's a very paradoxical type of thing.
It is a paradoxical question in the sense that
wrap your brain around.
How do you
mm-hmm.
I don't think it's physically possible. In
so
the sense
that just completely shatters time travel altogether.
Not necessarily. So here's the thing. I don't think this is me. This is my own brain because I've always been fascinated ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
When it came to Back to the Future, I've always been fascinated with time travel. How fucking cool would that be?
We're 80s kids.
How cool would that be?
Fucking smart.
And just like every other fucking Gen X, like I would guarantee you 95%, if not 98%. Of all Gen X who have ever thought about time travel, like the first thing you thought of was like, you go back and kill Hitler.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's your first inclination. Like as any time travel, like you're like, I'd go back and fix that, but I wouldn't.
No,
I've never had. I theorized the question and I was like, well, so what would happen? What would happen? If you did that,
mm-hmm.
you would not have what you have today. Right? It would be a completely different world.
Oh,
like if you never had a Hitler, like here's another question that steps in front of it. Would there have been another person to step in that line, like say Joseph Stalin, or would it have been like a Mao,
or would it have happened decades later?
Of course. Like, would you come back to your present and realize that you're in that situation now?
Like people made decisions wholly based on what happened, right? They put laws in place. It changed.
You wouldn't
the world.
have the Geneva Convention,
right?
Like so murdering people just in mass would be a whole different type of idea.
Yeah,
like I don't think you wouldn't have Nuremberg trials and stuff like that. Like you wouldn't have those things. So
that's another thing is going
those
back.
Horrific implications would never have been
and you need those things to happen to learn from them and change moving forward.
Yes, yeah.
There was something that Jeremy Sears said.
It's always been important to learn from your past.
Yeah.
Like you learn the lessons, like you learn the faults of the past.
Yeah.
And as a lesson so that you can course correct and do better in the future. And I think a lot of our society today forgets, not even really forgets that idea. They ignore it as if
it's because we live in a great time, man. We live in a time where
an entitled time.
Yes.
Where people are so utterly bored with their entire existence that they start thinking up all these weird things that like CRT, like whiteness as a problem.
You're creating your burdens.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're not, it's like you're so unburdened by everything that
you're making new burdens.
Yeah, you're making it up. So you can feel like you're fighting for something.
Yes.
When you're just creating something to fight for. But Jeremy Sears said something, and it was actually on all these guys, they do podcasts, they'll go to Vegas and do like knife show.
Sure.
Well, they had all got an Airbnb and they're vlogging together. So they're interviewing each other. And it was a pretty cool, I don't remember where.
I want to go to SHOT Show one year.
I know. I don't remember whose channel it was. Anyways, the guy asked Jeremy Sears and a couple other guys, Talon Sai, some of the big YouTubers. If you could live in any time, where would you live? And Jeremy Sears was like the only guy who said, right now. And he was like, why?
Yeah.
He said, because it is literally the greatest time. It is the easiest.
It 100% is the easiest.
It's the easiest. Like, you can make YouTube videos and be a millionaire back, even 40 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was laughable, right?
Of course.
But going back further, it just gets harder.
It does.
It gets way worse.
Yes.
He's like, dude, what do you want to be, a caveman? And just get beat over the head by somebody so they could take your shit?
You're right.
Because that's really what it is.
Yeah, you want to go back to the Wild West and
people fantasize,
travel across the country and get dysentery and
exactly
die because you scratched your fucking knee.
See, the Wild West, I was reading a lot about the Wild West, and they said, here's the thing about the Wild West. It's been fantasized to be one thing. Realistically, a lot of people were pretty civil in the Wild West because a motherfucker would murder you.
Yeah, for no reason.
But more people died from dumb shit in the Wild West than like gunfights, right?
Yeah.
Fucking dysentery, like you said.
Yeah, you're out there on your new giant piece of property. You're looking towards the future.
Bite.
Looking towards the future. I'm gonna have so many cattle and horses, and I'm gonna employ all these guys. And and while you're thinking about that, you're hammering that nail into your new barn.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it goes through your thumb.
Yep.
And it would just so happen to be rusty.
Yep.
And then you die of tetanus.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's what I mean. Modern medicine. I mean, fucking
get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah. And that really happened. Like, people die from dumb shit. And the farther back you go, the worse and more dumb that shit is. You're like, yo, people.
If I were asked that question today, if Jeremy Sears and I were sitting next to each other and that question were asked today and he gave that same exact answer, I would legit look at him and go, nope, wrong, 90s. What just happened?
Whoa.
Technical difficulties. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen.
Son of a bitch.
What in the fuck were we talking about? The world's ending.
Dysentery in the Wild West.
Yeah, so... no, you're right though. Like,
you said you would tell Jeremy that he was wrong.
I would tell Jeremy Sears that he's wholeheartedly wrong. I would go back to the 90s. 100%. I would go back to the 90s because I think that, like, if we're looking at timeline, right? If you look at,
I'm going 70s, bro.
Hear me out. I'm going to give you the 90s were the absolute best time
outside of institutionalized
technologically
drug testing.
Technologically,
I prefer a freer America.
Technologically, constitutionally, like the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah,
we were at a pinnacle in the 90s.
Yeah, the 90s was great. I tell my wife all the time, 1995 was the best year ever, man. Every great movie, everything. 95. That 95 was just
95, 96, 97, 98, somewhere like those 4 years, those 5 years, 6 years, whatever it was, were fucking amazing. Like, marijuana was amazingly good at that point. It's not this shit that'll kill you now.
95 is the first time I smoked weed, allegedly.
Allegedly. You can say that.
You can't prove it.
I can prove it.
Probably. But you wouldn't.
I wouldn't. I have no reason to. But yeah, like the 90s, you say the 70s, I'm wholeheartedly like the 90s were the timeline, the time period where, fuck, man, what was there to be mad about?
Yeah.
Like, black and white people were getting along
way better.
Undoubtedly.
And like, you know what's crazy, dude? Me and my wife, we'll pull up some movies.
Racism was like at an all-time low.
Right?
Yeah.
Hitch. The movie Hitch. Dude, have you realized that half of the movies that you watch on Netflix and whatnot are fucking 20 years old and they feel like they're 5 years old? And then you start to wonder, you're like, wait a minute, all these 20-year-olds out here, all these 21, 22, they were fucking born or babies in 2006.
Yeah.
2005, 6, 7. Like, you can be a whole ass voting adult right now and not be as old as the movie Hitch.
Yeah. Now think about this.
Yeah, we're fucked because...
Do you know what changed it?
In the 90s, we had way better
social media.
Cultural relationships. Yes.
MySpace was way fucking cooler, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, the things that changed it were Facebook. Facebook as a social media platform destroyed the culture in this country.
Yep.
Do you know why?
I think
Police
it's
brutality videos.
yeah. I've actually seen.
Whole
I know
ass
what you're
police
talking about.
brutality videos. It was that you got berated with them.
Yeah, it was
when you opened up a Facebook.
It was
in the early
opening of
days.
like how do you say it? Like kids paying attention to anything media related outside. Like kids, dude, in the 90s, I didn't watch no news.
I didn't.
I
Yeah,
watched
neither did
fucking Family Matters, Married with Children.
I say I
was
did.
a
I watched news in
sitcom
passing.
baby.
Yeah, no doubt, dude.
Right.
But you always.
But our sitcoms were also very like, dude. Kids now watch the Kardashians. They don't even have sitcoms. They have reality TV.
Yes.
And,
and that's not
shit.
funny. Like,
no, it's not. It's
Roseanne
fucked ass up.
Roseanne was one of the best
was
fucking
hilarious.
sitcoms to ever grace the screen.
Yep.
Roseanne, fucking Tool Time, or not Tool Time, Home Improvement.
Home Improvement.
Yeah, dude.
I still watch that.
Dude, Home Improvement.
Matter of fact, I still watch.
Fucking hilarious.
Yes. It's on Hulu. I think it's on Hulu. Married with Children.
Married with Children. Dude,
Amazing.
that was a cultural fucking like that was
Shit
the best.
was on for fucking decades, man. The Simpsons.
It's
the longest running sitcom in the country.
But that was
probably in
also
the world.
animated, so different.
But it's that popular.
Yes.
Now it's Jersey Shore 1, 2, 3, Floribama Shore, $1 million listing.
What?
Floribama Shore. You ever heard of that? Oh yeah, it's Florida, Georgia, Alabama, country line, shore, all mixed up into one fucked up ass reality TV show.
How do you do that?
You gotta ask MTV because apparently they're the king. They should drop the MTV moniker at this point too.
MTV should just be dropped as a whole.
Yes.
Like it's a cesspool of just
degeneracy,
sick, fucking just it's the worst thing in the world. If you want to continue to be MTV, wipe out the entirety of everything that you're doing right now and just put music videos back on.
And I feel like MTV is
24/7.
eventually going to go the way of Blockbuster because what do they offer to the world?
Nothing that Vivo doesn't.
Right.
Like, I mean, YouTube? Think about it. Like Vivo being the music video platform.
Yeah.
Like that's where most of your like did you see that new music video? Not on MTV, you didn't?
No, of course not. I don't even think they play music anymore at all.
I was born when MTV was born. And I'm as old as MTV.
Yeah.
And there is zero possibility that I am the demographic that watches MTV.
Yeah. No.
Although I was the demographic that started MTV.
Yes. And the thing is, I guess maybe they don't want us as their demographic. We're a bunch of 40-year-old fucking men, right?
I suppose, but I mean,
but what are they offering to the kids that
what are kids buying that
want? That their demographic that they're trying to go after, what are they chasing them with? What is it the kids are purchasing
from MTV?
Nothing.
Whereas the adults would gladly consume a 24-hour music television station because it's what we grew up on. Like,
I mean,
the only difference that I say with respect to MTV was keep Beavis and Butthead.
Yes.
Because that was iconic and still played music videos by the way.
So as much as Vice is like fucked,
they no longer exist.
I know.
Okay.
Something that I really enjoyed about Vice in Vice Land. No, Vice Land.
In the early years.
Yes.
Not today, not yesterday.
No. What they were doing a little bit of, MTV should have done decades before.
Yes.
Okay. Action Bronson. Fuck, That's Delicious.
Yeah.
That should have been a show on MTV.
Yep.
And they should have had a whole fucking lineup of music. Okay. If MTV's ideas went like this, hey man, look, we're MTV. We play music videos. Yeah. You know what people aren't watching on MTV? Music videos. We got to do something different. The difference should not have been Jersey Shore. The difference should have been, okay, let's do stuff like Fuck, That's Delicious. Let's do the stuff where...
Let's also take a step back and realize that we were at fault for that. We were the generation that produced the Jersey Shore situation.
Yeah,
simply because we were fans of the real world.
Yes,
we were fans of the road rules.
I know.
We were fans of the real world road rules challenge.
Yeah,
like,
and that's where Floribama Shore was birthed.
So was Jersey Shore.
No, when you said you had real world and road rules, and then the real world road rules challenge, they were like Jersey Shore, Floribama Shore. Like, what's better than one fucked up thing when you take 4 fucked up things and mash them into a cheeseburger?
Yeah, of course. I don't know, man.
I'm not mad at this.
I'm not either. I think it's too sweet.
See,
be honest with you.
It's just a little
good.
To me, it's a little rough around the edges.
I think it'd be really good with a Coke.
Yeah, probably.
It'd be really good as a mixer with a Coke. But it stands.
To me, it's not sweet at all.
It stands by itself. Like, you can drink it straight.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it.
I'm not mad about it.
I've had worse.
It's not. I can tell you that I don't want to go back to another glass of this.
Yeah.
I would definitely prefer some Eagle Rare.
Gotcha. I should have just brought the damn bottle in.
Should have. Yeah. Yeah, you failed on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a solid whiskey.
Or did I? Is the bottle already here? Because
Schrodinger's cat thing.
Right.
No, I'm with you, dude. I support you in this. I
you
want
know
you to
that,
know that I'm being supportive.
The whole premise is that I'm poisoning you.
Sir. I will not be answering that phone call.
You didn't hear me.
No, what'd you say? No. I'm sorry. No, I want you to repeat that. Because I got interrupted by a phone call and I still have to stare at his fucking face.
It looks like a sheriff with a mustache and... Oh, yeah. That's fucking funny.
Out your motherfucking mind.
He didn't quit yet.
Maybe that's why he called.
Yeah, no, Schrodinger's cat. I said the whole premise is that I'm going to poison you later. Or maybe I already have. Are we in a box?
Be it, sir.
Is this a fucking box?
So fucking be it.
Just waiting for the lid to pop off.
Fucking some giant alien looks at us. Oh, you guys are here. Okay.
Exactly.
Just science experiment. We're just
exactly
just checking to see if you were there.
Just checking.
Mm-hmm. So
I spent way too much time reading quantum mechanics to be a fucking graphic designer.
Yeah, I don't know what you were thinking.
Me neither.
I'm actually pretty surprised that you didn't go into fucking rocket surgery.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite rocket surgery.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yeah. So in the news a little bit, like I want to kind of touch on this stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know who Fannie Willis is?
You were explaining a little bit to me, but I do not. I know she is a special prosecutor, right?
Yes. No, she's not a special prosecutor. So for those who don't know, Fannie Willis is the Fulton County District Attorney.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She is in charge.
She's up there
of charging Donald John Trump, with election interference in Georgia over some phone calls that apparently we just nitpick. You know what? I shouldn't really have an opinion on it because it is what it is. We can all see that it's just a giant bag of bullshit, right? Mm-hmm. She is in charge of charging him with this bullshit charge and is now, like I said, it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
She's now being investigated and possibly we'll see some charges come of it for fraud.
I fucking hope so.
It seems that she is using taxpayer money to pay her, lack of a better fucking phrase for him, her sex toy, her bang buddy.
And who is this guy?
I don't know who this guy is. I don't even know that he's Nathan Wade.
Okay.
Is that guy's name. Uh,
What are they charging her with? Or what are they investigating her with? Not charges yet.
they are investigating. Let's see here. We'll read some of this. So,
Okay.
in a filing submitted in a Georgia court, a lawyer for Michael Roman said the DA's relationship with special prosecutor Nathan Wade had begun
So he's a prosecutor.
Earlier.
He's the special prosecutor.
earlier than they had disclosed. Nathan Wade is the special prosecutor.
She's the district attorney.
She's the district attorney. Nathan Wade is a special prosecutor prosecuting Donald Trump for election interference.
Conflict of interest?
Seems that way. Apparently, they have a relationship that has begun earlier than they originally disclosed.
Oh.
Roman, a former White House aide to Trump, was charged alongside the former president and 17 others in Fani Willis's RICO, racketeer influenced and corrupt organizations probe. He has pled not guilty to 7 counts in the Georgia case, and Trump, the front runner in the 2024 Republican primary race, pled not guilty to 13 charges under Willis's probe as well.
Under the RICO, they tried to get him for the RICO Act?
I'm not sure why they're doing this under the RICO Act when it comes to election interference. I don't know. I guess it's because maybe they're doing it because they're trying to charge 15 fucking people.
Right.
I'm sorry, 18 fucking people.
Under the Racketeering Act, though? That
Under RICO, yeah. When it's election.
It seems like they're trying to pin
it's a stretch, right?
They're pinning a gangster
we're
charge.
We're going to say it's election.
We're going to say it's RICO.
Yeah, it's election interference, but apparently the only thing that we can actually
right.
vaguely verify that there was some organization. So that has to go under RICO.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So
they're an organized crime syndicate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking about the White House administration? Then maybe
the current White House administration
should be charged.
I mean, probably
RICO.
But here's the thing: we're looking into this lady now for her sexual relationship with said special prosecutor, and
fucking the prosecutor.
So Roman's attorney, Ashley Merchant. That's a really long way to spell Ashley too. Jesus H. Christ. I don't know why we have to do this fucking this way. Accuses Willis of having an improper clandestine personal relationship with Wade, including going on holiday together while working on the case.
Oh.
Willis admitted that she had a personal relationship with Wade in court filings last week, but said that it started only after the case against Trump began. It's still a goddamn conflict of interest. It doesn't matter when your relationship began. If you hired a guy to prosecute Donald Trump, and then you decided you were going to suck his fucking dick, after the fact, seems like a conflict of interest.
Or before the fact, whatever.
If you were dating this guy before, it's still a fucking conflict of interest.
Thank you.
You having an inappropriate relationship with the same guy who's prosecuting the guy you want to go to prison.
The former president.
The former president, States. Mind you. Yes. Yeah. Who, I mean, for all intents and purposes, he's immune to these things.
I don't even know if conflict of interest is even a fucking thing anymore. Because if so, I feel like we wouldn't be here.
It apparently fucking isn't.
There's so many of these.
Because these people are just that willing to fucking do it. They're like, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
I'm banging whoever the fuck. And that's the other side of it, dude. That's the other side of it. Everybody's fucking sex life is out in the goddamn open for no fucking reason.
Yeah, I think the last story we covered was the sex on the Senate floor.
Yeah, I don't care who's fucking who.
Right.
I literally don't care.
I kind of care about them fucking each other. That's kind of important because if you're going to fuck somebody
I
on
understand the
floor,
implications of this. I understand the implications.
I don't care.
But again, your sexual relationship is not public. It should not be public knowledge.
No, it's true.
Like if I'm married, okay, you obviously.
But in this case, it should be
1 + 1 = 2. Like we get that, right?
Right.
But if you're a district attorney and you decide to bang the prosecutor who's
But that's the problem.
Like,
Because here's my case.
It's inappropriate. Okay.
I feel like I do want to know, and that should be in the open.
Okay, so
special
I'm not saying that
circumstances. If I was Donald Trump, I would definitely want this out in the open. Because my
100% you want that out in the open.
Is resting.
100% you want that out in the open. But
you just shouldn't be fucking everybody. Who the fuck is a district attorney banging a special prosecutor when you're involved in fucking prosecuting the president of the United States of America?
Former president.
What the fuck ever.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. You don't be like.
You start saying president and everybody's going to be like, oh, he's a Q guy. Connie.
But am I though?
I don't know.
It's like all those things happening. It's just a big ball of fuck shit.
Mm-hmm.
Shit fuck, whatever.
Yeah. Schrodinger's cat poison thing.
Exactly. I definitely feel like that's good to be out in the open. The whole like gay sex on the Senate floor was just kind of like, hey, look at this dumb shit.
Oh my God, was that ridiculous? You know what? Nothing ever came of that, by the way.
Of course not.
So since
and that's why I said conflict of interest in all this fucking debauchery in this.
Zero.
Of course not.
Fucking happened to this guy, right?
Right.
Like he wasn't fired. He wasn't fucking nothing. He made a statement. It was like, oh,
it'd be like that
was
sometimes.
my boyfriend or some shit like that. Like, and it was like fucking swept under the rug, ignored. Of course. Not even the Republicans are yelling about it. Bro, I'm so sick and tired of this flippy floppy bullshit. And Marjorie Taylor Greene can kiss my, I almost said black ass, but my white ass. Like seriously, on a hole, she'd kiss my hole too. I did just
you
wordplay.
You did it. Sorry.
But she can, dude. I'm so sick and tired of the
me too.
We're going round and round in Congress.
All she
with
does
all these
is
stupid fucking committees
about shit on fucking Twitter.
And she does nothing about it.
Exactly.
Nothing ever happens.
Of course not.
We want to impeach Mayorkas. Oh, do you? Why has nobody fucking actually done it?
Right.
You have a majority in fucking House. And you can't even get all fucking Republicans on the same page. You guys are fucking idiots.
Yep. No, my favorite is when she complains and she tells us to do something. That's Marjorie Taylor Greene at this point. The people, you guys can't.
Also, it does show a level of like you can actually see there is a level of corruption within the government in that sense because you had three Republicans defect and vote against impeaching Mayorkas this last time.
Right.
And they had to, like, so that the Republicans could reintroduce it.
Yeah.
They had to go to one of the other Republicans that was voting for it and go, hey, vote against it because we need an extra body so that we can go, bullshit, we need to do it again.
Right.
How fucked up is that? Right. Yeah. What were those three paid? Right. What were the three that were like, nah, we're not doing that?
We'll find out when they're Nancy Pelosi 50 fucking years from now. Marjorie Taylor Greene's the Speaker of the House. Done flip side. She's worth $7.38 million or whatever the fuck.
Fucking bullshit, dude.
I know.
I'm so sick of the ineffectual fucking the right is just the party. The Republicans. Let me put it that way. The Republicans are just the party. They are the party. They're the party of let's wait and see what happens.
Yep. That's why.
Hold on, don't do that. That's really brash. Let's just wait and see what happens.
Yep.
They're non-reactionary. They're ineffectual. They're completely just fucking useless. Waste of fucking air. Tits on a boar, my friend.
They're the speed bump. That's why our country.
They're only the speed bump because the Democrats have their dicks in their mouths.
The Democrats get shit done. The Republicans just try to slow down things, and then when they have the power, they do nothing.
But that's what I'm saying.
But
my analogy is literally that. The Democrats are standing there, dicks out. The Republicans are sucking those dicks and going, "Oh, just slow down, okay? Let's not do this crazy shit."
That's why America is always moving slightly left forever. America was more left under Trump than 50 years ago under a fucking Democrat.
I guess. Yeah, you're right.
Fucking Obama, or who was it? Was it Obama who was like, I'm not in favor of gay marriage?
Well, I mean, you had Joe Biden saying the N-word blatantly in the middle of the Senate.
It's fucking crazy, bro.
Like, just
what
the fuck?
What do they say? A Republican is a Democrat from 10 years ago or something like that?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's always moving that way. So that's like, we're conservatively Democrat.
Correct. Yes.
Because compared to 40 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No. You're right.
I just feel like we're moving so much like towards
40 years left. Ago, if you weren't like a devout Catholic or like Baptist,
you weren't a fucking conservative.
You weren't a conservative, like by any stretch of the fucking imagination.
Now conservatives are like gay marriage and weed and like, come on, bro. In the 60s, you was a fucking hippie Democrat.
It's
liberal.
the give an inch, take a mile, isn't it?
Exactly.
Like every time we give a little bit, we got an inch over to the left a little more.
But this is also the problem with putting people in a box. You're either this or that. See, I'm a very conservative-minded person when it comes to some things and very liberal when it comes to others. I am wholly for the legalization of weed.
That's just because you want to smoke it. But yes, I get it.
But I also believe many other things that come along with that it helps medically.
Honestly, think if you smoked weed, we would never get this podcast done.
If I smoked weed, I would get way more shit done. And I would probably have...
I'm such a better pothead than I am a sober person.
It's true?
No, I doubt it.
Why do you think weed is illegal? Why is every other drug perfectly fine? They'll give me Xanax and send me to work.
Oh, well, I mean, those are prescriptions. It's over-the-counter shit. Not over-the-counter, but it's like prescription. It's a different world, dude. Those
prescription drugs are fucking horrible.
I know they are. I'm not saying that they're great.
Like,
I'm saying that they're classified different. That's a federal fucking problem, isn't it?
Yes.
All right.
And so is weed. It's a federal problem, and they will never,
drugs are bad.
Never let the fucking clutches off. Don't you fucking South Park me on this.
Drugs are bad. Okay.
Fucking kill Ken.
Listen, I am literally saying this. I loved weed. I love smoking weed. Yeah, I went to work when I was high, and I did my job. But let's be real, dude. I was high as fuck.
So
that's not productive.
Sure it is.
No, it's not. Just because you show up doesn't mean you're there.
You're not productive.
Bro, think about all the things that you thought you were doing and how stupid you looked doing them.
No. I'm an artist. My brain
I'm talking like think about
drugs.
This. No.
It's not the egg in the pan. My shit is like Eggs Benedict with hollandaise on it. It's just fucking better. Okay? My brain on drugs, it's just fucking better.
Whatever. I don't know that I can argue this with you because it doesn't seem like an argument because it's subjective.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's wholly subjective because I've seen
subjective.
people like, that are literally like, I smoke weed every day and I'm the most productive person in the world. Ain't got a fucking job. Ain't got a dollar to his fucking name.
But dude, you got guys who sit here and they're like, I'm really fucking productive. And then they work and then go home, play video games all day too. And it's in your nature.
You're productive to the point where you're making money for your weed. Outside of that, you're not doing much else.
Yes.
That's the problem.
But like you said, everyone's subjective. Me, I never had a stomach for alcohol. I would get together with my buddies. Right? They drank. I smoked weed.
Yeah.
That was it. I never really drank. I drank socially, but I never got the...
I probably would not drink if I were capable of smoking weed. However, weed today, I don't know that I could smoke. That shit sounds dangerous. Like it sounds whole ass like it will put you in a fucking paranoid coma. Yeah. And I don't need that in my life. Well, what I need is the weed from the 90s that I used to smoke. The weed from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
That was like, looks like it came from Mexico, but we ain't real sure.
And see,
it's bricked up and butted up,
like,
so enjoy.
We talk about...
And that was good weed, man. We used to get high as fuck.
Fuck yeah.
We giggle, laugh all the time.
For sure.
And that was about it. We went to bed, got up, and went to work.
Yeah, you're right.
I felt good on that stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff that they got today frightens the shit out of me, man. These motherfuckers are like, that's an 800 milligram gummy. I take 3 of them a day.
Yeah. No.
What the fuck did you say? Like, seriously.
It'd be like that.
It doesn't, that shit does not compute in my brain.
No, me neither. I'm
like,
not
how are you
saying,
smoking? Like, how are you
bro,
ingesting that much fucking?
That's the difference.
Are you trying to get to that point? You remember how everybody was like, you can never overdose on weed, right? You can't smoke enough to fucking overdose.
Fuck
and then
around
all
and
of a sudden,
find out.
all of a sudden, they're like,
we made weed 80, 100 million times
you see this
stronger.
gummy? You see this gummy? It's got 7 pounds of weed in this bitch.
Right.
The fuck you mean? Why did you do that? I understand that you're trying to Thanos everybody, but you didn't need to do that.
Right.
Like, you could have just been like, that's a bag of weed.
Yeah.
And I'd have been like, okay, I get that. That's pretty good.
True.
We didn't need to put 7 pounds of it in that gummy.
Right.
You could only eat the ear. Well, where's the fucking ear? It doesn't, that shit is whole ass out of control. It's because people built up a tolerance.
Yes.
They weren't happy with just getting high and giggling and eating cereal.
But it's because these motherfuckers are getting high for a living, bro. It's like a job now to make and sell these gummies in these states where it's wholly legal.
Sure, but it's not necessary.
No, it's
you
not.
don't have to do that.
No. Nah, I think I'd be a little tapped out. But the thing is, man, moderation. And like, people, okay, you know the slippery slope of legalizing drugs, right? But we also know personal accountability plays a factor in people becoming drug addicts, whether legalized or not, because if legalization actually worked, or laws actually worked, we wouldn't have drug addicts.
Sure.
We wouldn't.
No, you would. You would, just like you have alcoholics.
Okay, but if laws worked, we wouldn't have drugs.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
If weed is illegal,
understand this.
Nobody can have it.
Understand this.
If that worked.
Laws work for the people who are willing to abide by those laws.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So you can't say that if laws worked, we wouldn't have drugs, because there are still people in the world who don't give a fuck about your laws. It's the same thing for gun control.
Yes.
Gun control would whole ass work if
everyone
would fucking abide by the laws, right?
Yes.
But we don't even have that now as a society we have really unconstitutional gun laws.
We have a whole lot of unconstitutional laws in general.
Yes.
I mean, just because something is illegal doesn't mean it's wrong, and vice versa. At one point,
you are not allowed to own a machine gun. You are not allowed to own anything that is fully automatic or select fire.
Right.
Correct? Because of the NFA in this country.
Yeah. I mean, like, you could pay the government.
Now, I can go to Chicago. I can go to Chicago and buy 7, 8,
Uzis.
10 fucking Uzis and fully automatic Glocks.
Yeah.
I can probably go to Chicago and buy the Glock switch.
Yeah.
That will whole ass fit my Glock.
Sure you can go to Facebook and buy the Glock switch.
Legit.
Yeah.
Now I want you to think about
from the feds.
Bingo. because the feds are trying to entrap
Fuck
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
They're like, why ain't we arrested anybody in 6 weeks? Who can we entrap?
Yes.
That's it. But the reality of it is, like, laws work only for those who abide by the laws.
But that's the problem, right? So that implies that laws technically then don't work, because if you're putting out a law for 100% of the people, but only 50% abide by the law, then the law don't work.
Correct.
So if you make weed illegal,
the law works 50% of the time, all the time,
for 50% of the people, 50% of the time.
Yes.
Oh my God, that just fucking ball of fuck shitted me.
There you go, buddy. Made your eyeball twitch.
It did.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, like,
I'm not a fan, man. Like, I look at laws and I have to decide for myself.
Yeah.
Somebody said, and I don't remember who said this quote, but it was great. They were like, just because something is illegal doesn't mean it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And because something is legal doesn't mean it's right. At one point in time, slavery was legal.
Correct. Yeah, it doesn't make it right.
Right. So then you have to decide for yourself what really is right and who put the law in place and for whose benefit and for what purpose. If they were to come out right now and
that's
say
a moral position,
guns are illegal, are you okay with that?
Morally, no, and nor am I going to abide by it. I will be I will whole ass be a criminal,
right?
Because you're not going to take that away from me.
And see,
you're not going to take that
more
right away
conservative
from me.
People would agree with you. But if I was to say the same thing about weed, they're going to be like, "Oh, that's the law and support the blue and all this other." And like,
well, again, think about it like this.
Like I said, you can't put people in a box because
our forefathers were growing weed.
Right. My moral compass. I feel like if you're committing any kind of so-called crime that doesn't affect anyone else, it's a non-violent. Like,
we got a few minutes. I'll have a little bit more.
What's the fucking problem here? Who's benefiting off of me at this point, right? Like, how many states have legalized weed in the Fed still to this day? Every president. It is such a forefront question that every president and vice president has to answer this question 25 fucking times in every interview, and every one of them swears, we're going to legalize weed. Vote for me. We're going to legalize weed. And they never, ever bring it up again.
But why? Why is it a problem? Like, okay, so it's legal in this state. It's legal in this state, and it's legal in this state.
Mm-hmm.
Then what's the overarching problem with it just being legal?
Right.
No, answer the question. That's the question.
There is none.
There is.
What?
It's a federal law.
That's not the...
But that is the problem.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
So your states...
Yes. So your states can... Okay, like the state of Florida can say, weed is legal. We voted weed. Yep. Weed is legal.
Yep.
Go try to buy a gun, though, and tell them you smoke legal weed. At a federal FFL...
But you can in the state of Florida. You can do both in the state of Florida.
No.
Yes, you can.
Go there and tell them you smoke weed, they ain't gonna sell you a gun.
That's where it gets convoluted. Okay. Here's the thing. And Nikki Fried, the little fucking see you next Tuesday that runs around here,
I know
with her concealed carry permit and a weed card. She lied on a federal form.
You can have both?
She lied on a federal form.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the other side of that is you can be like my wife, who already had a gun and then got her card. She never lied on her federal form.
And you can
That's the difference, though.
So here,
you're like, if you go to buy a gun with a weed card now, you already have your weed card. Now I want to go buy a gun. Now you're committing a felony, federal felony. Okay.
If you tell them that you don't. So on the
again, now, I'm going to give you another case in point. It'll change your perspective of this. Okay.
Go.
In Texas, it is perfectly legal for anybody and everybody to buy a suppressor under a new Texas law.
Right.
But there's no filing. There's no form to fill out or anything like that.
Right.
You walk into a store, pay the price.
Yes.
You walk out with the suppressor.
Yes.
That is in violation of federal law.
Yeah. Yeah. So if
Texas said, fuck you, what are you going to do about it?
Well, they're not going to do nothing to Texas generally, but take your suppressor and go to Georgia.
They don't even have to take their suppressor and go to Georgia.
Right.
They could literally just
show up at your house.
Caught with it by a federal agent in Texas.
Yes. We have fucking feds here locally.
FDLE is here, yes.
Yes. So is the
that's Florida.
Yes.
Or is that federal? That's not federal.
No, it's Florida.
It's Florida.
But you have FBI. You have ATF here. ATF is federal. They are local. We have local field ATF here in our county, right? That's a federal agency. And they're the ones looking for that fucking gun shit.
Yeah.
Right. And the weed. You got a suppressor and some weed and some guns and a card. And you're like, but But the state said, you fuck the state.
But that's what I'm getting at.
So
Is the state can say whatever they want.
Exactly. No, I'm with you. That's the point, is that what people don't understand is that a concealed carry permit has nothing to do federally. The state issues
that.
So
however, you still have to file a federal form for it.
Right.
Because you had to file an
do
NICS
the background check.
Yes. You had to file an NICS form.
But it's a state issued permit.
I understand that it's a state issued permit. You're still filling out a federal background check form.
Right.
That goes to the FBI.
Right. I understand.
Okay.
But Florida doesn't have a problem with that.
No,
the state don't. That's what I'm saying. So listen, the state will issue you this permit.
Yep.
And they will also issue you a legal medical marijuana card.
Correct.
And tell you you're good to go.
Yep.
And then when you walk into a FFL and you go, hey, I want to buy that Glock. And they say, okay, fill out this form. That form is going to ask you if you smoke any.
Have you or are you
a user
under the influence or a user of
any illegal substances, including any states where marijuana is medically legal and all this.
Correct.
If you say no, you're a fucking liar. And the state can be federally can prove it because you just got a card.
Correct.
That's in paper.
But they will federally prosecute you. And if they want to. But that hasn't happened.
Yes, the FFL cannot sell you a gun.
Correct.
Because
anybody who has filed that form in Florida has yet to have a prosecution against them.
And it's probably not likely to happen.
It's when you get into an altercation.
Although it's possible. And that's where shit gets sticky.
Yes.
It's the California weed thing during I want to say the Obama administration, when California legalized weed.
2010, 2008.
All of a sudden, feds just kept showing up, busting, taking all the weed, shutting these places down, then hauling ass.
Yep.
California's like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Like, this is our state. You just show up. What the fuck?
Yeah.
We can govern ourselves.
California also was like, we're not helping you in any of this.
Yes.
You can call us and say, hey, we're doing this.
Yep.
But we're not gonna help you.
Mm-hmm.
We're also not going to stand in the way.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
Well,
if the state had stood up for its citizens.
Yes, you're right.
And said, no, you're not, you don't have jurisdiction here.
Mm-hmm.
Understandable. You're federal and you think that all 50 states are your property, but they're not.
Fought it.
They should have.
They should have.
They should have, because that was one of the pinnacle points in the federal government gaining that we have all of the power.
Yeah.
Like we can come into any state we want and fuck your shit up for no fucking reason. And that right there should have been squashed fucking immediately. You are not that fucking powerful.
What's the point of having the vote then?
The only power you have as a federal government is the power we allow you to fucking have.
Yep.
And guess what you don't have? This power. Plain and simple. And it would have stopped. We would not be here today.
It's exactly why the citizens vote at a state level.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is the point? We might as well just be a communist fucking society where the federal government rules all.
You'd like to hope so?
Right?
No. I understand what
it is.
Yes.
I mean, like the states are supposed to be able to
govern themselves.
Federal trumping it, but also staying out of the way
of the state.
And at this point, when you have
this is a union of states, not a nation of states. This is a union, a union of states. So the fun thing is
separate states with separate laws.
The fun thing is before the Civil War, it used to be when people talked about the United States, it used to be the United States are, as in a plural, right?
Okay.
After the Civil War, and I may be wrong about the timeline, but after that, it became the United States is.
Okay.
That's a very giant discernation.
Yeah, because we're looked at as one.
Exactly.
One.
Exactly.
Like
it's not
unit.
Yes.
Of
we're not looked at as
like Russia.
50 United States. We're looked at as
Russia,
a country. Yes. A whole country that just so happens to have some states.
Right.
Right. It doesn't matter.
Meanwhile, if you live here, you will real quickly realize how fucked different all the state laws are.
Oh, yeah.
And the feds really don't do anything about it.
Cross the state line and tell me you don't feel like you're in another country.
Yes. Absolutely.
Like
it's very true.
Like
it's very true.
Cross the state line.
They're like, over here, weed is wholly legal. They'll give you needles.
It's not even that. It's just
guns,
a feeling.
No, you can't have any guns.
It's the whole feeling. Like,
yes.
Like if you...
Well, it's because we're so
if you drive
massive,
out of Florida,
large.
Well, if you drive out of Florida and drive into Georgia, you know you've done that.
Yes.
And there's a whole different feeling to it, right?
Yeah.
If you drive out of Georgia into Tennessee, you know you fucking done that.
Yes.
Like you feel it, it's there, you can see it.
Yep.
It's a whole different
Kentucky bluegrass. You see it.
Straight up.
You're like, we're in
There's
Kentucky,
a whole,
huh?
It changes so drastically.
Mm-hmm.
Varying from state to state. You can't drive from one state to another and go, where are we at?
But like,
except for Texas, because I feel like Texas should be 2 states, and I'm not even fucking kidding about this.
Texas,
that
Arizona,
place is so long to drive through. It's so long to drive through.
Texas.
I woke up. I drove into Texas one day. Woke up the next day. Still driving in Texas.
Meanwhile, you can go from Florida to Ohio in like 24, 25 hours. That's across the whole fucking...
I can get from Florida to Tennessee in less time than driving through Texas.
Yeah. But I feel like
Texas, a big-ass state.
Texas, Nevada, and Arizona should be a country in its own.
Now, I've been to Texas. No, listen. Right? Texas... If Texas wanted to be its own country, I'd be like, cool.
Yeah.
Have at it, bro.
Yeah.
Have at it, because I don't plan on driving back through you ever again.
But you see how different.
California the same way.
Right. You're right.
By all means.
Yeah.
California, you want to be your own country?
They definitely should be their own country.
Bitches bounce.
California.
I'm fucking good with it.
Uh-huh.
Matter of fact, why don't we work on building the world's largest chainsaw and just cut that bitch off at the state line? Yeah. Let the motherfucker float.
Yeah.
Maybe they can go hang out with Hawaii for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Yeah. Hawaii Junior.
I don't need that.
No.
You know what?
Matter
of fact, while we're at it, just go ahead and take Washington and goddamn fucking Oregon with you.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and take the whole ass Western seaboard.
Yeah.
And
then maybe Colorado will tighten up. Maybe they'll snap out of it and go,
Colorado better do something, because I'm a Colorado native. I was born in Colorado.
I know.
Colorado Springs, baby.
Hey, I'm an Ohio guy.
And I'm looking at that state and I'm going, you bunch of fags.
Dude, I'm
so over it.
The Midwest, like Michigan.
And I don't mean that in like gay, you're gay.
We mean it in the 90s.
You're a fag.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 90s fag.
The 90s when people weren't so faggish.
You're being a fag.
Just, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's where I'm at with it. I'm so over it. Like, what is California? What is Colorado doing? What are they doing to themselves, dude? Colorado. What are they doing? What are they doing to themselves? Like, this used to be like one of the freest fucking states in the country. Yeah. Like they constantly battled between them and Texas as to who was the coolest in terms of freedom, right?
Right.
Like, you go out to the fucking mountains and say, fuck the world, right?
Like, when I think
now
of
you
Colorado,
go up there and some pussy little bitch is yelling at you about, don't throw trash on the ground.
Yeah. They're selling me like gourmet coffee, like fucking washing. Like,
by the way, would you like to buy our hand ground stone ground coffee?
Stone ground in the mountain.
Grind it with a stone
in the mountains.
Yeah. I also have some leather goods.
I feel like when me being a guy who's never been to Colorado, the image I get is like,
oh, I want to take you now.
357 Magnum in the woods.
So we went back like 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
My wife and I.
Oh, went back to Colorado?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
She took me on a trip. It was for my birthday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Took me on a trip to Colorado for my birthday. We went for 4 days.
You drive? Fly?
No, we flew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you drive, it's like your whole vacation. You're like,
listen.
It took Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to drive
flight.
there.
It was a 4-hour flight.
Yeah.
I want you to know that. It was a 4-hour flight.
Dude. You're going...
And...
You're like diagonal across the whole fucking United States.
No. That's the fucked up part. Like, we left out of Orlando, right? Straight out into the Gulf, and then back up.
Odd.
It was weird.
Okay.
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, I don't like being over the ocean in this plane.
No.
Like, here's my thing.
Is that where you're like, would it be better though?
No, it would not. Here's my thing.
Like, do you want to crash into Texas?
You have the chance to survive.
If.
Like, on like going over the ocean.
Yeah.
Like it's water, right? Like we can
flotation
ski
device.
down, right? Like we can
I
ski
think
down.
your seat is a flotation device.
But now I'm in the middle of the fucking Gulf,
allegedly.
right?
Yeah.
Now I'm in the middle of the Gulf and I've lived.
And
but did my kids live? Did my wife live? Right?
Right.
Now I'm all by myself. Maybe I'm the only survivor.
They were
right.
What?
I'm just saying, like, if we crashed into the Gulf, like, did my wife and kids survive? Or am I the only fucking survivor? Now I'm floating out in the ocean in the fucking Gulf, nonetheless, which sucks dick.
It's like the Titanic, you're on the fucking door.
Yeah, I'm hanging onto a fucking seat.
Yeah.
That may or may not have had my wife in it, you know? Trying to float, hoping to God that a shark doesn't fucking eat me.
Yeah.
Or that fire fucking that fire
the fiery tornado
of hellfire
fucking
in the
Pacific
fucking middle of the ocean. Yes. Doesn't swallow me up. Nonetheless,
fucking
like
Kaijo.
Fly me over. Yeah. Kaiju.
Kaiju. Kaijo.
Kaiju.
Okay.
Fly me over the fucking the land. That way, if we fucking go down,
I die.
We burst into flames and just fucking die.
Just I want to know everyone's dead.
Yep. No survivors.
Not everyone's
0.
dead except me.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't want to do that.
No.
I definitely don't want to do that over the ocean.
No, I don't. Yeah, no.
Holy
I don't blame
shit.
you. I don't blame you. I always joke with my wife and tell her I hope to God that I die first so I don't have to, suffer.
That's every man.
I know.
It's every man.
But like I joke with her about it. I'm not joking.
No, neither am I. I've never joked about that. No. I'm like, I want to go first.
Yeah. Hell yes. She'd be sad for a little while.
My wife continually tells me that if she dies first, that she will haunt me. And I'm like, that's fine. Because that's
why I want to die.
She's like, you're going to meet some other girl. And I'm like, oh, no, I don't fucking care. Like, I'm way past that shit now. Like, I got 3 kids. Like, there is 0 possibility that any girl could ever put up with my shit on top of 3 kids.
Yeah.
No. Not at my age. Not at my age. My age, they'd be like,
no.
Fucking gross.
Watch my podcast.
Exactly.
They'll be like, man, fuck that guy.
Exactly.
This dude sucks.
Yeah.
What are these guys? No wonder their wives probably killed themselves.
Guy's a fag.
Oh, fuck.
So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Mostly Peaceful.
Yo.
We're testing out new audio today, so hopefully it sounds good. Hope everybody enjoys it. We're going to find out on this stream today.
That happened
last week. The stream that happened last week.
Yeah.
Fuck it. What? Have a good night, everybody.